very, very pleased for him, for his family. It's an historic moment, I think, in his life. I know he's been with the squad last time, but this different feel about it being named officially in the squad. Delighted for him. He's such a level-headed, down-to-earth lad. He's worked incredibly hard since he's been here. He's improved greatly. I'm just really pleased that he's got the recognition his performances deserve.
Is this call-up not only testament to him as a player, but also yourself, your coaching staff and the club for buying a 19-year-old from the Championship who you've now developed into a player that potentially could go to the World Cup?
I think Lewis, I always say I think the players deserve the recognition, and Lewis himself deserves that for last year, really. I think last year was a difficult one. You know, we signed him, and then there was a process of behind the scenes working with him and coaching, and a lot of work from Lewis to stay with the project, because it's very easy in this day and age to want instant success and instant platform to show what you can do. But we felt there was a process and a lot of competition ahead of him. So, but he's reaped the rewards this year, and since breaking into the team, he's got better and better. So hopefully it's a start of an exciting journey with the full team.
Can you give us an insight into what he's like as a person and that journey from joining the club to where he is now? Does he stay for extra training? Does he sit with the analysts? Does he work with yourself one-on-one? How has that process happened?
He's one of the last players off the training pitch. He really is. We have to tell him to go in. He's one of those players that always wants to do more, which is the type of player that I love. You know, and I love going on a journey with the player to say, right, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see where we can take your game and how good you can be. But you need the buy-in from the player. You need the player to actually want to do it in the first place. And there's no edge to Lewis. He just wants to become the best player that he can be, and he's on the way to doing that. And yeah, we're excited. I'm very proud to have him with us, and very proud that he's got the call up.
Everyone will talk about the impact Jack Wilshere had as a lone player to Bournemouth and the things he achieved whilst he was here. Sort of in the background, was there a lesson Lewis Cook was learning from Jack about that type of role and that type of midfielder that he sort of seems to be becoming?
I think there was. I think watching Jack was very beneficial for him. I think last year we had an incredible pool of centre midfielders to pick from. Jack, of course, being at the centre of that, but also learning from the likes of Andrew Sermon, Harry Arter, Dan Gosling. They're all different, but they're all great characters and very good professionals. So I think for Lewis to see those players, people, take bits from them, is a really good part of his education. And I think now he's reaped the benefits this season.
And is this an example to the rest of your squad? Charlie Daniels, Simon Francis, Callum Wilson. Actually, I might be at Bournemouth, but I can still be a part of the England squad if I work hard enough.
I think, yeah, hopefully. I think that should be real incentive for those players to see that, you know, Lewis has got rewarded and noticed that it can be achieved and it can be done. You know, those players have all played a part in Lewis getting this recognition, because the team has to function in order for the individuals to do well. So I'm sure all the lads will be very, very pleased for him as well.
When you look at Gareth Southgate's position at the moment, it's a difficult one, particularly with things that are happening off the field and that kind of stuff. Is there a part of you that needs to have a dialogue with the FA and Gareth and obviously be concerned about Lewis's safety if he were to be going out to Russia?
I think naturally, everyone's first priority would be the safety of everyone concerned who travels to the World Cup. I've got no doubt the FA will do what they need to do and make sure that the safety is paramount. We'll of course be in dialogue with them to make sure that any of our players that are involved are safe and well looked after.
Up next, West Brom. Could this be your biggest and toughest game of the season?
Certainly, I think, because it's the next one, it's the biggest. I've got no problem saying that, and I will say that probably till the end of the season now, as we close in on the games and time runs out for everybody. Yeah, I mean, toughest possibly. Who knows? I mean, the difficulty of this game is the expectation will be on us from everyone outside and probably everyone inside. Will expect us to win, and that brings its own challenges. And I'm well aware that this will be a very tough game. Watching West Brom's recent matches, they've been very competitive. they've ended up on the wrong end of the scoreline, but through such fine margins. I mean, the games have been so tight, and they've been very unlucky in several of them to come away losing. So they're a competitive Premier League team, and they've got strengths that we need to be aware of. But if the crowd can get behind us and we continue our form, which has been pretty good here, even the performance against Tottenham I was very pleased with, then I'll back the team to win.
I don't think a Bournemouth team has ever been complacent, but the fact that West Brom have lost 7 games in a row, they are bottom of the table, there will be a lot of people that will think, maybe from fans' perspectives, this is a game that Bournemouth can win and should win. Do you have to guard against that in the dressing room and make sure your team are fired up more than ever? I
can assure you there'll be no complacency within the dressing room, absolutely no chance. We know how tough this league is. We respect everybody. We respect Alan Pardew and West Brom's players, and we know that they're good players and they deserve to be in the Premier League. So, no, the job is on us to be very professional, play at our maximum levels, be as motivated for this game as any game that we've had this season, and try and win.
You played West Brom on the opening day of the season and lost, so there must be something you can take from that result. And are you surprised that they're full because they looked reasonably effective against you on that first day?
Yeah, it was a tight game. I thought nothing between the two teams really on the day. I thought we could have come away with a draw. We were disappointed to lose. We dominated the ball, but didn't probably hurt them enough with it. I think from that point onwards, yeah, if you'd said to me then that they would be where they are now, I'd have been surprised. But you know, that's the beauty of football. You never know what's around the corner.
And what's the Bournemouth team used ahead of the game?
Got a couple of injury doubts. We've Ryan Fraser's been nursing a back problem. He's had a scan. The scan looks okay, but he hasn't trained. Josh King's neck looks like it's going to be okay. A couple of other niggles.
No one that will be out this game that was out that was playing last week.
Wait and see.
It's no wins in 4 now for Bournemouth. How important is it that you get 3 points on the board to change the sort of mentality and perspective of the last 8 games of the season?
Yeah, I think it's important we try and win. At this stage of the season, there's a lot of points to play for. We want to try and maximise those points. Now, I think if we can get a couple of good results now, then I think we can change our objectives and look upwards and see what we can do the other end of the table. But I say until we get those points, it's all about winning as quickly as we can.
And of course, the last game before an international break is another one. Of course, you want to win because you have that lingering period of time where a heavy defeat could really play on your mind for a long period of time.
Yeah, I don't think any manager wants to lose going into an international break. You get to dwell and think and cast your mind back to the last game. That's natural. That's what we all do, I think. So with that 2-week break, we'd love to go in with 3 points.
Thank you.
Eddie, how important is a good start in the match? Because you made a really good start last weekend. Are you encouraging that again this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. We did. We started so well against Tottenham. Could have scored in the first couple of minutes, and then we did score, and there was a really good feeling around the stadium. The crowd were well into the game and really appreciating the efforts of the players, so it was a good feeling. Tottenham showed their quality. They came back and scored a great goal from their perspective, and from then on it was nip and tuck in the second half right until the end, and then of course the last period of the game was a little bit disappointing from our side, but all in all I was very pleased with the players' efforts and the performance in general, and I think if we can hit those heights again, then I think I'll be very pleased.
How did your preparation differ from preparing for a game like Spurs to a game like West Brom against the bottom of the league?
I don't think it changes too much in terms of what we do and how we want to play and what we want to deliver. I don't think they ever change too much depending on who we're playing. It's more the mental aspect, I think, that's important this weekend, how we approach the game psychologically. That will probably be the biggest change.
I just wondered, Lewis Cook must be right up there, but what's been your highlight of the season so far?
Trying to cast my mind back now. You're always in the next moment rather than looking back too much. I'd say the period around Christmas when we managed to beat Arsenal and Chelsea were two big highlights to this point, but hopefully we've got more to come.
You feel like continuing moving forward, the Lewis Cup thing obviously is a good marker for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really nice moment, I think, for him and for the club, and hopefully we can on the back of that generate some more. And that's obviously one of the aims that we have, is to develop talent, improve whatever nationality, and try and maximise their careers. So that's a nice moment, but for us it's all about the results, and since the Christmas time, our results have been pretty good. But we are aware that we would love some wins.
The call-ups reflect well on the English coaches. Yourself, Sean Dyche has got 2 players called up as well, doesn't it? It's good for both of you.
Yeah, it's nice that players at smaller clubs are getting recognised. I think that's a really good sign from the England manager, who's prepared to pick players in form rather than on reputation. So I think and of course the youth element as well, I think that's a really important factor that Gareth's been brave enough to pick young players. He has done that since the whole time he's been appointed, and I think that's a breath of fresh air as well, and a real change for the positive, in my opinion.